Hi everybody, I'm Jack and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Thought I better get out here in the yard outside, do a video because our weather is about to change. Had a nice cold weekend here. It was it was freezing both mornings, below 32 Fahrenheit. And now it is about to turn into summer. I left Costa Rica to come spend the summer here in Alabama. Now it's going to be close to 77 degrees, I think they're saying, for Christmas Day. Hopefully, I'm probably not going back till New Year's Eve. Hopefully we'll get some sort of a weather pattern that'll come through and give us a little bit more cold weather. But, whatever. Weather's weather. Nothing you can do about it, huh? I was thinking about this one as I was setting up my camera, and it's in the 3.5 years that I've been doing this lifestyle, my thought process it changes and changes. It gets a little bit deeper, and I kind of keep evolving into this mentality of eating to live, because it goes against everything that we've ever been taught, everything that's been ingrained in us. I remember back before I came to this lifestyle, food was, and you know, I like that word that Tanny Raw uses all the time. Food was a toy, or it was not something that I understood. I understood that we needed to eat healthier than not, but it was always about, like I've said, I think I've mentioned this before, what are you in the mood for? What do you feel like eating today? Or it would be something to do like, you know, some celebratory or get together, and for some reason it seemed like celebratory always meant even worse choices than normal bad choices. But as I've come to this lifestyle, and as I get a little bit more solid in this lifestyle, and I can feel layers peeling off and getting more and more away from just like distracting myself with what I'm eating. Now, I don't think I ever, and I don't think I want to come to that point where I'm just totally, you know, straight up, there's no thought of like taste or pleasure, and it's just strictly for a fuel to my body. Now, I'm trying to get to it to be mostly that. I like it to be about maybe 80 to 90% that. But, you know, taste and what you're in the mood for within reason is always going to play in there to a certain extent. But it's just, you know, I don't know. Sometimes I think when I'm trying to figure out, like, I'm thinking like, okay, this makes sense to me. How can I relate this to somebody else? And I think sometimes I think it's not, I'm not a sociopath or anything, but I'm just very pragmatic. I'm just very matter of fact with things. I don't factor in the emotion. I don't factor in anything else other than just the logic of it. And that's where, and like I say, maybe my brain was just ready for that at the time, but something has just made it like click to me that I'm starting to understand, you know, what my food is about, and what the choices I make are going to do to my body. I learn more and more and more every day, and I let go of more and more every day, and I try to do it in my own time. I don't try to force these things, even though I, you know, talk about eat to live instead of living to eat. Of course, you know, I still have to maintain sanity, and I still am human. I haven't ascended to being some kind of other being or whatever, so I still am human. I have those I still have cravings too, and I still have periods where I want to eat things that are just for pleasure, even when they're not the best decisions in the world. I think I'm about to have to, but I think I made another leap or another jump yesterday, or maybe I think my body's just gotten to a point where it's too clean for me to do some of the choices and do some of the pleasurable things that I had been doing. Well, let me just get to what I'm saying here. Yesterday, and I've talked about this before, I go to my little vegan restaurant in Pensacola. Now, you know, a couple of times when I'm in the States, I go down there and I eat something that's way off the course for me. It's much higher fat. It's a Mediterranean platter. It's got real hummus on there. It's got stuffed grape leaves. I even eat hummus bread. And it just, you know, for the longest time, and it's still. And here's another thing too, you got to remember with me, I don't have issues. I have no issues. So it's not like, okay, what happened yesterday was I ate this meal and I went down like a rock. I don't mean physically, I mean, I wasn't sick, I didn't feel bad, but it was like my energy went from here, just dropped. I didn't even know if I was going to, I wanted to just crawl in the back of this restaurant and and catch a nap on the floor. I mean, it really just sapped my energy. And I did kind of have sort of this not nauseated, but just kind of this kind of quasi-queasy feeling, which is telling me that that meal may have to be let go. You know, I don't have qualms about eating some cooked food when I'm in the States, but I mentioned in a group the other day that the fat thing just isn't, I'm getting less, fat appeals less to me. Now it's like I'm really managing my fat. I eat my fat because I know I need certain amounts of fat, whereas in the past, fat was like that. Even if I was trying to keep my fat lower on the days where I had some good fat, or it was a day I was going to eat a certain type of fat, I was all excited, and when I ate it, it gave me this warm, fuzzy feeling. And the fat is just not doing it for me anymore, because I'm changing, I'm evolving, my body gets a little bit cleaner, but not doing any of this, you know, extreme stuff. I'm eating all the time. And I'm not going to change the levels I'm eating on fat. It's just like I say, I have to make, in the past it was always been trying to hold back from eating more fat, and now it's kind of like telling myself, okay, you really do need to eat some fat in a meal today. I mean, I've gone a lot of days with no overt fats in the past month. And yeah, like I say, I manage my fat by how I feel now, and it's not so much by any kind of cravings or, oh, I need fat or whatever. So yeah, your body, if you will just listen to it and you will try to continually give it the best choices at your level, there's a fine balance there. You don't want to push yourself too fast. You don't want to try to just go you know, you can't skip through levels. If you try to put too much pressure on yourself, you're just going to be all uptight, and you're going to have setbacks. I have let this progress naturally. I mean, I have people throwing stuff to me out on social media all the time. You should do this, you should do that, blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to blah, 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 blah because of faceless people giving random shout-outs on social media and such. My body dictates everything. I mean, it's led me well so far. Until something goes major wrong, or I see something's not working, or I see my process is not working, I'm going to trust my process. I'm going to trust my process always. And no outside entity person is going to talk me out of that. So, to keep this one kind of short, what can you take away from this? I would say just work towards that. Think about in all your choices, when you're making choices for food, when you're struggling, whatever, always ask yourself, even if you're not going, even if you slip up, even if you consciously don't follow it, before every bite of food, before everything you prepare, ask yourself, does this serve my body? Does this serve my body the best? Is there something to serve my body better? Is this a poor choice? Analyze it. Even if you go ahead and do it, start getting that process in your head. And don't fool yourself. I mean, look, go back to my videos where I've talked about eating these high-fat meals before. I've done that. I know in my head those are not the best choices. But then I know again, too, since I don't have any healing or health crises or issues, that it's not going to be a major thing for me. Like yesterday, even with that high-fat meal, I'm not saying I'll never eat it again under any circumstances, because it wasn't that big of a thing. By about 4 or 5 in the afternoon, it was kind of like poof, everything had flushed, and I was back to my normal self. But I've always been honest with myself about everything I eat. Don't try it. You're just shortchanging yourself. I see people all the time, and I think it's an ego thing, or like they're a little bit embarrassed to even just be wrong, but they try to justify. They know they're eating something that's not good, but they somehow try to justify it, and it just kind of makes you look a little bit silly when you're doing that. I own up to everything. I know what I'm eating. I know what I'm putting in my body, and I don't bullshit myself. I don't need to. I make the decisions, and I try to make sane, logical decisions all the time. So, I'll wrap it up with that today and just say, try to think of that. Just keep that in mind when you're eating, when you're about to make food, when you're thinking about ordering food when you're out. Am I eating to live? Or am I just living to eat? Is eating a party? Is eating something to entertain or distract me? Anyhow, hope you guys like this video. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. Hope you'll subscribe to the channel. Share it with your friends if you will. And I hope your week's off to a great start. I love you guys. Peace.